as with any vehicle program, there's always a few times throughout the development, probably more than a few times, where you've got to force a deadline and you're not quite sure you're going to make it. So one of the ones that I had recently was on a version of our minivan that we sell in Europe with a diesel powertrain. And if you're familiar with diesel engines, they typically are louder inside the cabin, inside the vehicle, or outside of the vehicle. And we had a number of different what we call NVH improvements. So whether you're stuffing different compartments of the vehicle or taking into account different calibrations you can do in the powertrain to make the noise not so susceptible inside the cabin. And we couldn't make the breakthrough. We'd been doing a number of changes. So one of the things I did was scheduled a management review there was one scheduled for all the leadership team, and I agreed to a time slot where we were going to show all of our improvements, and we didn't have them. So I gathered the team and said, all right, you're going to have to figure out a way. I know you can do it. Don't tell me all the organizational barriers that are the reason you can't make it happen. Lock yourselves up in a room, go pull it off. So they had basically 24 hours to come up with what's called a new powertrain calibration, figure out a way so that the shift schedule didn't do what we call drone. So it locks up and it feels like and it hums and it tends to shake. So come up with a way to get in and out of that lockup very fast so that nobody has any complaints. So the team kind of reluctantly went back. There was one guy I could tell, I could see what I'll call the sparkle in the eye that said, I know you can do it. So I went out to the management ride, didn't have an opportunity to see anything in advance, and one of the colleagues was going to drive it out to what we call our proving grounds. So he showed up with a calibration. We had the management team scheduled about an hour later, hooked up his computer, flashed the software in the vehicle. We drove it around the track, were convinced it was right to show, and off we showed it an hour later. So sometimes you need to force it. And oftentimes if you use those examples or opportunities throughout development of a program, you can make those breakthroughs that give you the confidence you're going to be able to launch on time.